everybody, and welcome to another VOD review. We're going to be watching KatyMorgan play some Mercy for us. This is a gold to platinum level game. Now, the reason I chose this game is because some of the areas of improvement that I think we can help Katy with is basically a common theme that I've been seeing among a lot of Mercies, and so hopefully this will help a number of people improve their gameplay. Before we get started, if you guys haven't noticed, I have been uploading a video a day this week. Hopefully that's not too much for you guys. That may slow down a little bit when the season winds down, but for now I'll probably be doing that, or at least keeping up with my 3 times a week, depending on the content I have. Right now I have a ton of games because I've been playing a bunch on my alternate account as well as on my main account, so we'll see how that goes. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started, and we'll go ahead and fast forward a little bit. So I'm going to start right here. Numbani is excellent for positioning for Mercy. You've got the right hand side where everybody normally starts up top, and then you've also got that lovely left hand side where Diva is. Now you do have a hit scan, McCree. This is around the time that I normally like to ask my hit scan to go take high ground on the left. As a Mercy player, it gives you unlimited movement options, being able to fly from left to right, touch up people on the point, but never really have to touch the ground. If they don't do it, that's fine, but it's always worth asking if they'll do that for you. And I do like that you guys are all on comms. That's awesome. Okay, so go ahead and push forward a little bit here. You don't have to be in that room with them, but you should be a little bit closer so that your beam is on someone, whether it's healing them or damage boosting them. You really should be participating actively in the match, even though there may not be a whole lot that you think is going on. Right here, damage booster Winston or your Diva over you firing, because Mercy's little hit scan, or not hit scan, but projectile bullets from that distance, it's really hard to hit a tracer. You would probably be doing more damage by damage boosting either one of your tanks that are down there or touching them up on heals. Okay, go back to high ground with your Diva. Okay, you should have, so what I would have done here is your Winston's full health. I would have flown up with Diva. That way Diva could continue to be healed and you could get off low ground. Being on low ground is rough as Mercy. Now you did get up here, stay up here. Even though Diva went in that room, that's kind of her own problem at that point. There are so many enemies right here that it's really dangerous for you to come down here, and you're super close to res. I would have called out Diva, if you want heals, you need to come out of the room, and would have been touching up the Winston in the meantime while trying to keep high ground for myself. I definitely wouldn't have come all the way into the room with all of that damage right there. I'm really surprised you didn't die right here. Really surprised. Your team did a good job of kind of keeping the attention off of you, but as you start climbing in rank, doing something like that is almost an insta-death for you in a moment like that. Sometimes it's better to be in the middle of your team when there's a fight going on, and sometimes it's suicide. Now, it's really good to kind of be in the middle of your team if you're getting chased by like a flanker, like a Tracer or a Genji, but when it's the entire team versus the entire team, try not to be in the middle of it. Try to stay on the outskirts. You can actually stand behind the enemy team and heal through them, which is a great thing to do as Mercy, and it keeps them where the damage is going away from you, but you're still able to kind of support your team. Let me turn this volume up for you guys a little bit. That way you can hear in between, maybe. There we go. You need to be prioritizing getting on that high ground. I know that's where you want to go because I can tell you're looking for it. Okay, get over there, grab your May. Nice. work on stopping your momentum with your guardian angel sooner so you don't accidentally go flying into a room like that. Oh. Okay, let's back up a little bit. That's not what I wanted. Okay, so this is where I just said work on stopping your guardian angel. You didn't need to come in that far. You could have flown and stopped here as Reaper backs up and healed and probably not been sucked into the grab. Now, your May does a great wall there and saves you guys, and your Zarya was kind of silly. Their Zarya was kind of silly for ulting because I think you guys had killed most of her team at that point. But stopping your guardian angel would have helped you stay out of that. So just try to think about that. Think about where the max range is on your Reapers behind you. So, okay, there's a lot of stuff going on here. So, you've got a couple of criticals happening. Your Reaper needs healing. You're on high ground. The team's pushing underneath you right now. I would have stayed up here and looked for my Reaper to heal him instead of jumping down. Now, he's on the left there. You could have asked him to tell you where he was, like on stairs or something like that, which you ended up doing, but it was a little bit too late. If you would have stayed on high ground, though, I think you would have been able to find him and still be alive. So try not to give up high ground if there's no enemies up there or you don't have to get to someone for healing. Your team is dead everywhere. Okay, there's your Reaper. I would have told Reaper to just die. I hate it when Reapers do this, actually. When they're on critical, right here, I'd be calling out, I have res, go to point and die. I have res, go to point and die. Reapers tend to get missed a lot of the times when resing, or at least resing a group, because they do this. They wraith when they're on critical. And you normally run out on a timer on someone and you have to res, and then they come out of wraith and they die because you can't get heals on them fast enough. So this would have been a really good call out for you to make, is just die on point, because you would have been able to res both of them right here, from here. Instead, Reaper's coming back around, which could have brought the whole team to you. And he did bring the Zarya, which luckily she wasn't paying close enough attention. But you got the res off, which is good. Now you need to probably go get out of this room and get to the far side, which is what you're doing. Excellent. Good job. Okay. Fly. Okay, you guys held it. They only got a tick. That's not bad. Okay, get high ground. There you go. Okay, so got caught in another graph. All right. So right here is where I'm going to suggest you do something that I do a lot of the time. And it's where I will Guardian Angel part way and hook on to whoever I need to heal, but I won't actually land on whatever ground they're around. I'll push back on my little joystick and a little controller button. I guess it's like a joystick on the controller. I guess that's what it's called. I pull back on that, so I move backwards and re-Guardian Angel back to them. But every time I Guardian Angel, I cut it really short. But basically, I guess the best way to describe it is it's kind of like a rubber band. I'm just bouncing back and forth out in the air where nothing can really get me. I can drop down if I need to, but I'm still providing support to my team, and it might have kept you from getting caught in this grab. So right here. I'd just be saying to give up the point. It's done. Don't be afraid to damage boost your diva if she still has armor. And I'd have actually flown up with diva and gotten on top of the bus. Just so I could get off the ground and have a better look. I never want to be standing still for too long if I can help it. Your May's doing a good job with her walls. Damage boost baby diva. She's not taking any damage and she can get her mech back a little bit faster. Okay, this could either be a good res or a really bad res. You're so close to their spawn that it's always kind of questionable. I would have honestly looked to see what ultimates we had before I did that. Just to see if maybe we were going to ult here, or if one of the people that I was rezzing had ult. Now, your May did have ult, and she is ulting right now. Ulting at their spawn. Using that many ults at their spawn, unless it's overtime, is typically a bad idea because they respawn right there. You're not really wasting that much of their time. So I would have actually either rezzed and told my team to, hey, take a few steps back and let them get to this corner, or just told my team to back up and not rezzed. One or the other. Watch out for that Zarya. She's so charged. We forgot her, though. Okay, get more distance between you and your team. Get more distance. Back up, back up. Stretch that beam out. Use this. There you go. Get behind there. Damage booster diva. She's got health. Okay. Right here. So you got yourself down here because you're healing, which is fine. This is generally a decent area to be because you're kind of offline, but the team starts pushing you on both sides. There's a dead body over there on the right. I would have locked on and flown to them as absolutely soon as possible. And basically what I'll do is I'll hold that button down, and that way, as soon as it's available to me, I'll fly to it. Regardless, I will just hold Guardian Angel, and as soon as my target comes in view, I will fly. That way I don't have to worry about timing it while I'm getting bumped around. Because you could have flown to that and then backed up around the bus, and you might still be okay. You guys have time to recontest this. They still have a ways before they get there. But you're already pretty staggered. One of your tanks isn't going to be there in time. Your Winston should have really backed up. McCree's trying to get behind them, possibly for a high noon. You definitely don't need to be going there by yourself. Your team needs to be hitting that payload now. Instead, they got caught up fighting a game up top. There was plenty of time to recontest the payload, but now they're dropping onto it. Your Reaper's trying to ult over there by himself at their spawn. Once the payload hits the check mark, back up. Don't fight it at that point. Their spawn is right there. There's no reason to go in to waste ults to do anything like that, again, unless it's overtime. Just back up a little bit, get your team back together, and get ready to re-engage as a unit. And as a healer, you can kind of call that out to your team. You can be making those calls, telling them to back up. Oh my goodness, back up. That's a whole lot of scary. Can heal some Winston. There you go. That was a very nice ult by your diva. Cancel that Guardian Angel again. Don't get that close. Move more to the right. There you go. Good res. Heals on your diva. Don't fly in all the way. Good, you canceled it. Nice. Good job. Good. Back up, back up, back up. Back up around the corner. Don't get around that corner. There you go, good. This is really hard because you're also solo healing, which is always rough. Back up, back up, back up. You heard Nano go out. And you have res. Just back off. Your team's super critical right here. You have res. It's like their last push. Just back off. Just wait. Wait. You have plenty of time. Wait. Okay, now go. Go, go, go. Okay, so that was a beautiful 4-man res. Beautiful. Great job with patience. Fly in. You locked on to the far skull. You're going to be invincible when you res. That ult's almost off. Fly in, res, and back out of it. Or fly up above to your diva, actually. That'd even be the better thing. See your diva up in the air? Lock on, fly up, get above it, res 4. Don't just walk in. You're super lucky that that tracer did not one-clip you in the face. Because you were walking in a straight line, you weren't moving fast. Try to avoid doing that. Fly into it. Don't forget you're invincible for a couple of seconds. I think it's like 2.5 seconds. And your diva gave you a perfect excuse to fly up into the air. She shot her ult up there. For a little bit, you can fly up to that mech. You could have done that and gotten above it if you were really that worried about the Mei ult, but you had plenty of time to get into it. That res was absolutely beautiful. I really loved your patience on it. But try to get in there quicker next time. A slightly better team will take you out really fast because you were just standing in the open and walking slowly in. So just work on how quickly you can get into res once you've made the decision to res. But otherwise, beautiful res. There we go. Your team did a really good job after you resed, and that was a beautiful res. So I guess we'll go over it at the end, but really just make sure that once you've made that decision to res, you go quickly. Work on your positioning a little bit. Try not to be so up and in the middle of your team. That's gotten you caught in a couple of grabs this game, and I imagine it's probably done it to you in the past or gotten you caught in some ultimates. Mercy has to be alive when those ultimates go off. So you've got to work on really figuring out where you need to be positioned to have the best chance of supporting your team, because you can support your team through some ults. Absolutely. That beam has a lot of give to it. So figure out how far away you can be to still be locked on and kind of play at that distance. That way you're a little bit safer. Okay. Oh, look at all the cuties on the wall. I like it. I really like that you guys are talking and strategizing. This is excellent. A lot of that does not happen at Gold and Platinum. This is fantastic. There you go. Okay, a lot of stuff just happened. Let's see here. So your Winston's gonna jump. They have a bastion. I probably would have dove and tried to swerve over to the right to use that beam. So I probably would have gone with my Winston and Diva. But if I can pause it at the right spot. Right there. Okay, so I probably would have dove with Winston or Diva. But I probably would have tried to swing over to the right if you're looking at the screen right here and used that beam to kind of cover myself. I see the Torb turrets up there, but that's probably going to be able to go down pretty quickly. And I don't think it should be able to reach you if you're kind of tucked off to the right and under that bridge. But that way you could have kind of helped them out, or you could have dove into the Winston bubble a little bit quicker, but it would have given them a little bit more healing to get started. If you decide not to dive with them, which is totally fine, damage boost your Genji. Give him a little extra to kind of get what he's trying to do. Your Winston's somewhere, and he needs heals. Oh, he went all the way around. Careful. Okay. So, I hate it when Winstons do this, but you can't help it. You know, if you don't tell them you're coming to heal them, they're going to leap away. As soon as he leaped away, as soon as my guardian angel was done, I would have tried to fly back to him. And this is also where canceling your guardian angel part way, because you could have landed behind the payload and still been healing him and probably been pretty safe. You might have had it off cooldown to be able to fly back out with him. Flying back up to your Genji is good. I know why you're doing what you're about to do, because Winston's on critical, and it's terrifying, and you want to help him. But holy crap, that's a bastion, and that's horrifying. Flying face first into a bastion is never a good idea. Ever. He will shred you. What you might have been able to do was fly over here to your Genji, who I think is deflecting, and pulled the bastion's attention over to your Genji, and then probably gotten healed on your Winston. And Winston even put that bubble up for you. It wasn't going to happen fast enough. But this push is kind of over. Your Diva needs to get out. Okay, she's going to go hide. Your Diva's taking the point. Your Diva totally just got a tick on her own. Oh, I think Lucio's there with her. Just heal. There you go. Stay on her. Grab your Reaper. Grab your Reaper. There you go. There you go. I like that you're watching behind you. I do that obsessively as well. I've been snuck up on way too many times. Okay. Don't res this. There is no point. Your spawn is right there. Hang on to it. I'm glad that you did not. I know you thought about it. Always think about it. But there would have been really no point to it. Okay, they probably powered up Bastion, I think. Good. Really good positioning right here. Go up top. Don't worry about coming around this side. Don't shoot. You don't need to shoot at Zarya. I know you're wanting your Reaper, but he's way behind enemy lines and you have res. Absolutely no point in going to get him. You know what? If he wants heals, he needs to not be that far away. Or your Lucio needs to go get him. You have res. I honestly, when you came around the back, would have gone up top. It worked out for you, but really be thinking about that. There's no reason to go get your Reaper when he's that far away. I know Reapers want you to, because they yell it and they spam it. But when he's that far behind enemy lines, he's kind of on his own unless Lucio wants to go and fetch him. Or Zen tosses him an orb. Or you have an Ana who can snipe him. So this is almost the last push. You broke it down, you need to be backing up. There are so many ults going off right here. You really, really, really should have backed up around that corner and just waited a second for more people to die. You guys should have this, though, as soon as you get the Ana off of it. There you go. Okay. As soon as I finished topping up Winston, or he got anti-healed, I just started backing up just a little bit. Especially once your Lucio dropped, I would have backed up. Let him die. Because he dies pretty quickly after this, I think, if I remember. Yep, because he was still weak. Your Diva's going to be out of mech. There's so much damage. You could have had a 3-man res right here. You would have had plenty of time to get that. And had both of your tanks back up. So don't... That's one time, or I would say, take a little bit of patience and don't solo res if you can help it. Now, you guys have plenty of time to push again if this push failed. So it wasn't like an, oh my gosh, this is overtime, I have to do something right now. But if you'd have waited a second, you could have at least had 2, possibly 3 for that res. Which I think would have helped you guys cap the point like a touch faster. You still got it, which is excellent. Nice. So, I'm gonna turn this down a little bit. So overall, your target prioritization was not bad as far as healing goes. You have a little bit of a problem locking on to the right person every now and then. So just kind of work on timing, I guess, with engaging your healing beam and when you pass over a target. Because that can mean a life and death, basically, for a teammate if you lock on to the wrong person. It happens to me all the time. But it's something that you definitely want to work on. So the biggest thing overall that I really want you to focus on and to work on is your positioning. You play very, very up close with your team. You need to be back farther. You got caught on a couple of grabs, which could have easily been avoided if you'd have just been back a little bit. Been remembering to shorten that Guardian Angels, just stopping it early. And just kind of using your environment a little bit more for protection, I think. Overall, it wasn't bad. You had a couple of really beautiful reses in there. Absolutely great. The 4-man was wonderful. Just work on getting in there once you make that decision to res. But your patience on waiting for that 4-man was fantastic and well rewarded. But if you have any questions, you need clarification on anything at all, just go ahead and post in the comments and I'll try to help you out. But hopefully you learned something from this and can take something away from it. Hope you guys have a great day. Until next time, bye.